Joe Rogan is getting completely annihilated on X today by all sides to the point where he is trending all over X because he apparently made this huge grandiose endorsement for RFK Jr. and turned his back on Trump and all this type of insanity that people are saying. Some people are going way too dramatic with this entire thing, but you even see people like Rob Reiner, meathead himself, who says Joe Rogan abandons Trump. They're dropping like flies. And of course, this is the weird Democrat narrative that's going on right now with all these leftists, that everyone's turning on Trump and everyone's abandoning Trump. Well, I'm not, and I highly doubt that many of you aren't either. So let me know in the comments below. Are you still riding with Trump, or are you going to be joining up with Kamala Harris? But today we're going to be checking out what Joe Rogan says about this entire thing, okay? Because he is facing an insane amount of backlash for this video here, where he said this whole crazy thing about RFK Jr., okay? So Right-wing X is shredding Joe Rogan for endorsing Robert F. Kennedy Jr. during his podcast. The claim Joe Rogan endorsed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for president, but this is what he actually said. So let's go ahead and take a listen to this, and then we'll get into all of the backlash.
That's just what they do. That's politics. They do it on the left. They do it on the right. They gaslight you. They manipulate you. They promote narratives. And the only one who's not doing that is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
You a fan?
Yeah, I am a fan. Yeah, he's the only one that makes sense to me. He's the only one that he doesn't attack people. He attacks actions and ideas, but he's much more reasonable and intelligent. I mean, the guy was an environmental attorney and cleaned up the East River. I mean, he's a legitimate guy. You know, before anybody started calling him an anti-vaxxer, which I thought he was too. I thought he was this nut, this like conspiracy theorist nut, until I read his book. I read The Real Anthony Fauci, and I'm like, what is it? How much of this is real? Because if it's all real, this is f***ing insane, and we live in a world where we're being manipulated by these health organizations that are being paid by the pharmaceutical drug interests. And these
Yeah.
Also, the government is in on it, and also they share a patent with Moderna, and also they share profits. This is all of it is fucking crazy. There's the revolving door, and when he talks about all that stuff in his book, you're just like, what the f, man? If this wasn't true, he would be sued.
Yeah, but
so it seems to be true.
Yeah.
So basically, because of what he says here, which, you know, he says that he likes RFK Jr. and that he thinks he's the most sensible of the candidates. Basically, everyone just lost their minds, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Joe Rogan's turning on Trump, and he's endorsing RFK Jr. and all this type of stuff." Well, and we even saw, like, it's actually trending right now on X as I'm recording this video right now. There's a lot of people that are talking about this. Cat Turd himself decided to jump in on this and said a bunch of really ridiculous things about Joe Rogan. So he did things like this, where he posted this poll: who has the gayest low IQ, dumb, male blind joke, political infant podcast in the world? And of course, he only gave two options for Joe Rogan or Joe Rogan. So, you know, there's so much like unnecessary infighting going on right now, especially considering the fact that Joe Rogan himself completely just denied all of these claims. Okay, so this is what he said: for the record, this is not an endorsement of RFK Jr. This is me saying that I like RFK Jr. as a person, and I really appreciate the way he discusses things with civility and intelligence. I think we could use more of that in this world. I also think Trump raising his fist and saying fight after getting shot is one of the most American effing things of all time. I'm not the guy to get political information from. If you want that from a comic, you go to comic Dave Smith. He actually knows what he's talking about. And of course, Joe Rogan has always been pretty humble in that regard of not ever like claiming, hey, I have all the answers. That's kind of what his whole podcast is about, is that he doesn't have the answers and he's trying to figure things out and all that stuff and getting the experiences and the knowledge from everyone else. So Joe Rogan is not endorsing RFK Jr. in this post, and jumping on him and attacking him for that is not the right call, okay? Because he didn't just flat out say, I am endorsing RFK Jr. for president. He didn't even say that. He said that he liked RFK Jr. And I myself, there are things about RFK Jr. that I like as well. And I would even consider voting for him if it wasn't such a crucial election this year as it is, with us having to deal with a completely insane far left party that is going to absolutely destroy America if they get in office. So this whole thing is absolutely insane, okay? Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.